Now, I did not sign up to be in anybody's circus, so I'm wondering why I'm seeing so many clowns.
Catfish tragic, online savage, real life average.
Now, I know I don't have to remind you, but I'm gonna do it anyway. The girls are already over there on patreon.com/AdrianExpression listening to the latest episode of the Expression podcast entitled, We're Reopening? I hate to see it. Make sure you check it out this month. Just like every other month, I shouted out a patron in the patron spotlight, Omarion Banks. He's a talented designer. More information about him is on Patreon and in the community section of my YouTube account. Make sure you check it out. A lot of exciting things happening. Digital, my new EP is out, girls. I am not talking about Windows or Mac, but you just need to get with the program, all right? Let's start out with talking about some shows. Westworld, actually this current season is almost done, so I'm excited to hear that it was renewed for another season. This current season is basically leading up to a showdown between Dolores and Maeve, and so I'm resuming all my motor functions. I'm bringing myself back online. Cannot wait for this finale. Excited that it has been renewed. Another show that a lot of people have been talking about is Little Fires Everywhere. Now, more people than usual have been talking about it just because the season finale just happened. The girls are saying that Kerry Washington delivered, as well as Miss Reeves. I need to actually, just because of what people are saying about the finale makes me really want to go watch the show. For those of you who watch the show, please let me know what you thought of it. But the girls are saying Reese did an amazing job. They're saying that she did too good of a job in her role. So that makes me really interested to see what they're talking about. Also, HBO Max released their trailer for Legendary. It looks cool, looks really inviting. Love the marketing, love the vision. Still not really too impressed by them damn judges or whatever, but girl, they said y'all are getting a show, and I'm sure the girls are gonna be checking it out. I cannot wait until people who are like legit members of the ballroom scene give their opinions on whatever the show is going to be. I want to take this moment to remind everyone that, you know, we went over this. I have a list of husbands, and there are, you know, ones that you are not able to touch because I said so. They are people that you need to stay away from. Don't talk to them, don't DM them, don't at them. Another person two people I'm adding to this list. I'm not sure how we're gonna work this out. I don't know what the marriage license would end up looking like, but Omarion did this shoot for some magazine, and all I'm gonna say is that a piece of bread is not the only thing that can choke me, all right? And I'm promised you, I put that on Sky Daddy. If you see me choking around this man for some reason, don't do no type of Heimlich maneuver. Let my ass be, okay? And then even further than that, I was like, okay, Omarion's fine as hell already as it is. Here come his brother, which I didn't even know that he had. I don't know if I was living underneath a rock or something, but his name is Orion, and apparently he's Janae Aiko's baby daddy. I was like, it's unfair. How these genes work, good looks just spread out throughout the whole family, I guess. I'm not sure. Either way, like I said before, it's giving me Cersei type of Valonqar prophecy. I want hands wrapped around my throat, a song of ice and fire tees. They are fine as hell. Now, in more music industry news, the Raw bitch is back. She's here. When I saw this cover, apparently, I guess she's releasing it through Target. So Target had put it up, and they also put up the track list. Sis, this album cover is giving me girls, you thought I was gonna have this cowgirl hat on my head for the rest of my life, but I am back in my 10, 12, 13-inch stilettos, and there's nothing that you can do about it. I don't know what Sis is giving us industrial cyberpunk. Zoom in on these heels. Sis is giving me butcher tees. She's gonna slice you girls up. I guess she said she's gonna slice you girls up. I don't know. But there's that same amount of flavor in the track list too, if you take a look at it, because I saw that Ariana Grande was gonna be on there. I saw that Blackpink is gonna be on there. The Kpop girls are, I guess they're winning. This era, this season of life, I don't know what's going on. The K-pop girls are winning. I also consider myself slightly a K-pop girl. I do not know a whole lot about what's going on currently, but I am still a fan, and you know that I am because I got excited when I saw Rain over here creating a TikTok, and he was dancing for his sisters. 37, he's married, got kids. Rain was one of the first K-pop artists that I saw, and he really got me into the scene because of how hard he worked and because of the performances he always put on, and he was serious about his shit. So The Kpop Girls are winning. Lady Gaga's coming back. It's just like, while the world is twisted, messed up, while the simulation is glitching, these musical artists, a lot of our faves, are feeding us. They're giving us things to chew on, and I love it. Speaking of musical artists, Kelly Rowland was on her Instagram live, and she was, I guess she's really doing a lot of promotion for this song Coffee. Maybe she has an I guess it's giving me upcoming album, new era type of tease, but she was on Instagram live just talking. And you know, Coffee's about sex in the morning. Like I said, sis loves her some, I don't know if I should call her Bob the Builder or whatever, but she loves her some morning wood. It's giving me very much beaver tease. Kelly's giving me beaver tease the way she loves her morning wood, right? So she was doing some promotion on Instagram Live. And one of the two celebrities that I really want to talk about her going on live with, the first one was Keke Palmer. She asked Keke Palmer 2 questions while she was on live. She asked her, what were you curious about before you had sex? And what was your expectation versus reality when you finally had it? Now, I don't know how much of this I could really talk about before YouTube was like, okay, sis. But Keke was just like, sis, I did not know how that male part was gonna enter me because, you know, I'd never seen it rise up like the proletariat. Jesus, that was so corny, I'm sorry. But she said she'd never seen it in action before, I'll say. Keke answered the second question. She said she thought that the first time, like losing her virginity, she thought it was gonna be like Love and Basketball. She thought it was gonna be that type of thing. And she said it ended up being some nigga asking her like, let me try something right quick. It was giving very much, let me put the head in type of vibes. Then Michelle came on her live, and Michelle was just like, now I see you acting up. You asking all these questions on live. You tweeting. I see you acting up. Michelle whipped out her lip gloss and was just like, if this was, I forgot what she said. If it was anointment oil or holy oil, I would just put it all over you. And Kelly started laughing. So it's just really cool to see Kelly so involved in pushing this music out. I don't know. To me, does it seem different? Was she this active on social media? Was she this active in promotion in these previous releases? I don't know. I don't think she was, unless I wasn't paying attention. But it's cool to see her ass do it, and she's, of course, so beautiful. Let me read you this from CNN. There's growing evidence that COVID-19 infection can cause the blood to clot unnaturally, and strokes would be an unexpected consequence of that. Dr. Thomas Oaksley, he's a neurosurgeon at Mount Sinai Health System in New York. He basically talked to them about patients that tested positive that also had to deal with strokes. He said the virus seems to be causing increased clotting in the large arteries, leading to severe stroke. So while all of this is going on, right? And I talked about this on my podcast episode. Make sure you check it out at patreon.com/AdrianExpression. So while all of this is going on, new information is coming in about this virus. Hospitals still don't have the things they need. I saw nurses over here, like it's a nurse in Georgia. I can't remember which video it was specifically, and I was trying to find it. I couldn't find it again. But this nurse in Georgia was like, it really feels like a slap in the face. We don't have the things we need. And then Governor Kemp is over here trying to open up the whole economy. She was saying, while I'm at the door of my house, I have to take off my clothes before I can even touch my husband, like go upstairs. He has a tub ready for me. So she's saying we're doing all of this, sacrificing all of this, putting our lives on the line, but this governor wants to open stuff back up, which is going to make it even worse. It's going to make the issues even worse. On the podcast, I also talked about the types of businesses that they're opening up on Friday, like, and who's working at these businesses and which population will be most at risk for COVID-19 if we're talking about Republicans and re-election, and what communities actually will vote for them and what communities will be considered an acceptable loss, not only for the Republicans who are trying to stay in or get in office, but for the base, the voter base of these people who won't care about these communities. Like just making the connection between the types of businesses that will be open on Friday in Georgia and who works there, you know, and who frequently visits there. And this is also another reason why I could not be a politician, right? Because Keisha Lance Bottoms, the mayor of Atlanta, she was like on, I forget what news station she was on, talking about the fact that Governor Kemp is opening these things up. And she was like, you know, I'm talking with my attorneys, and there's really only a limited amount of things that I can do about this just because his order would supersede mine. But she said I can still use my voice. The other part of what she was saying was like, oh, I don't know what data he's looking at. I don't know what he's looking at, but I urge people in Atlanta just stay home. Governor Kemp hasn't talked to us. So I don't know what data he's looking at, but more people can die. And it's just like, I can't do that tiptoe walk the line type of shit. I'm like, girl, that order is really whack. That's trash. Healthcare workers are still struggling. It's idiotic to open it back up. I just do not have that capacity to be cordial, especially when it's simply idiotic to do the things or just reckless and dangerous. It will lead to more deaths. And listen to what the governor of Texas said. He said, there are more important things than living, and that's saving this country for my children and grandchildren and saving this country for all of us. The lack of logic in these weird arguments and these weird statements is so distressing. If I could just leave them to their own devices and not have to worry about anything, not have to worry about these same people going into the grocery stores that I have to go into, I wouldn't care. But it's just like, wow, the stupid jumps out. He said, I don't want to die. Nobody wants to die. But man, we got to take some risks and get back in the game and get this country back up and running. It's like, how is the economy going to be running if there ain't nobody to run the economy, if everybody's sick and everybody dying? What are y'all talking about? So many protests online talking about, oh, well, why are the beaches closing? Why are all these gyms closed and everything when y'all have the grocery stores open and people are closer to each other in the grocery stores than they are on the beaches? It's more spread out. It's like, what? Are we really doing this right now? Like, you comparing grocery stores where people have to eat, people have to get food, to beaches and gyms and shit? Somebody was like, oh, well, gyms should be open because you have to exercise, and exercise is part of being healthy and staying mentally healthy. It's like, girl, if you don't do some damn jumping jacks in your goddamn house, and of course, to invigorate his base, Trump is over here talking about, well, we're halting on Wednesday. I'm going to sign an executive order that's going to halt all immigration. Of course, he gave some stipulations, some exceptions, but he was like, we're going to halt all immigration. It's just like, okay, for at least 60 days. And then after that, we'll assess it and see what needs to change, what needs to happen. You might be fooling a lot of people, sis, but I see what you're doing. They're trying to present this plan like it's some way to protect the health of American citizens or whatever. And it's hilarious to me because if he actually cared about the health of Americans, he would not be up there rallying behind these people who are protesting the social distancing rules. These billionaires who claim to have made all their money, y'all claim they made their money all by themselves. They're self-made. They would not be pressuring all these people to go back to work if they actually cared, about the health of Americans. But then y'all talking about stopping all immigration while you just letting the states do what the hell they want to do. If one state is allowing everything to open back up and another state is like, well, girl, no ma'am, the virus is still gonna be a problem. I don't understand. What's going on? What's going on? But anyway, I'm done with all that. Like I said, go to patreon.com/AdrianExpression, sign up, check it out, stream digital. I love you all so much. Stay safe and make sure that you have a good goddamn evening.